Hi. Hope you all had a good New Year's. I have been playing Elden Ring. I actually played it when it originally came out on PS5, which I played the hell out of, girl. I finished that shit in like a week, but then they released it on Steam much later, but I didn't feel like starting over because I made so much progress, but I was like, fuck it. Let me just play it because they released the DLC later, which I really want to play. So I'm going through that. Today's video, I'm going to be doing, it's going to be a very cute, quiet, simple little get ready with me because the new color of the year, I was never really into that thing, but girl, the new color of the year from Pantone, Mocha Mousse. She's the one. You know me, I'm always hollering and yapping about soft summer, but also I'm kind of half a soft autumn, and this is exactly the type of color that I like to use on myself when I'm wanting to do a warm look. My skin is really dry right now, but I'm not trying to get too crazy with it, so I'm just gonna use Parnell. I don't know if I talked about this before, but received their box that had like all their cushions of their shade, this cushion right here, because they extended the shade range to like 30 shades. And honestly, the deepest shade in that range was like not even that deep. I talked about that on my podcast with Eddie, and they saw it because one of the staff there actually watches my content. Girl, they were like, hey, would you like to come to our company and, company tour, check out the facilities, and also we wanted to show you the shade extension because they're sampling new shades. And obviously my skin's not that deep, so it's kind of pointless for me to go there and give them advice on shade extensions, but I have worked on deeper skin before, so I have a few, I know if something's too gray, or if it's too blue, or if it's too orange, and so I was like, why not? Let's just go and hang out. And so I went and they prepared this fucking, video presentation. Basically, they showed that clip of me talking about the foundations to their CEO, and they're like, we need to do something about this. And so that's why they're extending their shade range, which is good, because to be honest, a lot of the deeper shades in their first shade extension were too gray. So I guess it's good for people like me that are very gray, and for like Middle Easterns and Southeast Asians that have a lot of blue in their skin. But everybody else, honey, ash. Anyway, they gave me a bunch of their skincare, so I've been using it. It's actually very, very good. Especially for if you're in the market for like things for repairing your skin, which I'm always in need of because I'm always fucking up my skin for some reason. And also I noticed that, whenever the cycle of people coming to Korea and getting all these lasers and treatments done, and that was me, because I have like acne scarring that I want to address. But I noticed years of doing lasers has really thinned out my skin. So I'm constantly getting the redness from like, not rosacea, but just like the fact that my barrier is always compromised for some reason. Because of me. Then I'm going to use the Parnell Cicamanu 92 serum. Normally, I don't really give a fuck about serums like this, but because, it's just a Cica serum. There's so many good Cica serums out there, and they're all kind of basic. And not that I'm trying to look for anything like unique and crazy about serums, but I like the way it's almost like a little bit more jeonjeone than other serums. It's more bouncy. And I was looking at the ingredients, and there's actually manuka honey in there, which I don't know. There's something about honey. I just love honey in skincare, whether it's for the smell or for the way it feels. Oh my God, sorry. My hair's gonna get like, I tried styling my hair because my hair was, because for the mood I'm going for, I feel like straight hair really wouldn't like mesh well with it. So I wanted to add some kind of wave to my hair, but now it's getting in my fucking face. It's annoying me, so I'm actually just gonna stop there because I'm gonna use a base, like a makeup base, and that's pretty chokchokhe by itself. But before that, I'm actually, let me do the lip mask. I have been freaking obsessed with this lip mask from Daiso. And I believe I talked about this in another video, but girl, I'm stocking up. There's 3 different kinds. There's this one, there's this chokchok one, citron, and there's another one that's like supposed to give like a cherry look to the lips, but the Applelime one, the one for bossip, I don't know what the fuck they put in this, but normally I'm a fan of sticky lip balms, but this one just absorbs, but it makes your lips like renewed basically, and it makes the dead skin on the lips kind of like literally disappear. I don't know what happens. So this is the type of lip balm that's perfect for before makeup. And it looks like, everyone puts their lip balm on, it looks like this, and it's like, wow, okay. But I don't know. Hopefully you'll notice throughout the video that my lips look just better and better. But I'm gonna use this Paul & Joe Protecting Foundation Primer in 01. My friend who lives in Japan got me this. 감사합니다. 아리가토 고자이마스. Thank you. And I've heard of Paul & Joe before, and apparently it's a very popular brand in Japan, in Ilbon, in Nihongo. No. Nihonjin? No. Nihon. I'm crazy. But the smell, it smells so fucking delicious. It's like a cross between like floral and fruity. It's kind of giving me like Bath & Body Works vibes, to be honest. 근데 되게 촉촉해. And it kind of gives a little bit of grip. I just like that it is thin 하면서 it gives some grip. I don't like super thick primers. In general, primers, I'm just like, unless you have like really enlarged pores. Oh god, 10 minutes in, we're barely starting the foundation. Since I started with the Parnell skincare, let's just try the foundation. This is the Cicamanu Serum Cushion, which was, according to people, was like the #1 cushion in Korea. But having tried this, it's, to be honest, it's just okay. I think you'll like this if also I'm using the shade 24N Natural Nude. I think it's supposed to be a very like, even based off the name, it's supposed to be a very skincare type of foundation. And so I think this would be good for those of you that have pretty good skin. You're scared of like heavy base makeup that will like break you out maybe, or you want something that's a little bit more healing, kind of in the vein of like a BB cream, right? Skincare with coverage. But because of that, it doesn't really meet the need. For me, my needs in terms of a good cushion foundation is higher coverage, because at least then I can customize how much I can put on and therefore determine how much coverage I want. Whereas this is very light to medium coverage. It's truly just for evening the skin tone. And also, for me, pore coverage. Although my pores aren't the biggest, I find that the cushions and foundations that really do well in terms of covering pores really help with smoothing out my skin, because I do have a lot of acne scarring. But this one doesn't really have much of like a pore covering power, which again, like I said, is fine for me because my pores aren't gigantic, but it doesn't give me as much of like a blurring effect as I would like. So this is very like, just very natural. So although it's not exactly my favorite type of cushion, I think it's really good for those of you that have generally pretty good skin, or maybe you're not really looking for like full coverage from your base makeup. Girl, the fact that my shade 24N would be the shade in the shade extension. 2024 was truly the year of realizing things, because for some reason it was the year I found out that I'm not, even a 23 in some Korean foundations. Or they've been making the foundations lighter and lighter throughout the years, because even then, look at that. So the finish is really, really pretty. It's just, I don't know, wearing it throughout the day, it just I think my skin, because my skin is dehydrated, it kind of just absorbs the foundation. This is definitely the type of makeup that I tend to use, especially at night when she's gonna go out partying, maybe. And I'm not looking for like full coverage, especially because in the nightclub, no one's gonna, it's the dark, right? So nobody sees like every single imperfection. So I'm using the Glow Not Dry Concealer. I'm using the peachier side for my beard. And also I found this brush from someone on Xiaohongshu, because it's so skinny. So it lays down the foundation really thin, which I like. I've noticed that with really creamy concealers like this in particular, they go on better with just a flat brush and constantly just like tapping it in, because if you normally use like a brush and then a puff, but with a puff, sometimes what it does is it sucks the moisture from the concealer, especially this one, because it's so moisturizing. And what happens is it ends up looking dry and patchy. Girl, it's giving Edward Scissorhands. Like, what is this? And then the other side, the lighter side, I'm gonna put that in the center of my face, because the blush I'm using is extremely muted. So I kind of want it to pop a little bit more. So I need to brighten the middle. And normally I like to use my Flower Nose concealers for this, but my skin is more on the dry side lately, so that's why I'm using the Glow. Don't forget the center of the nose, girl. Gorge. I got this because I know it's really popular, and you guys know I use the vegan version of this for my clients. But I picked it up just because of the hype. And they had this at Olive Young, which I was shopping at the other day, so. Ooh. I do love the mist on this. It's so fine, so it's easy to just. Sometimes with spray type fixers, you have to be very meticulous about applying it evenly, but this one, it's literally like a cloud spray, so. And then real quick, I'm gonna put some, you see my eyes are quite red today, so I'm gonna put some of this Kaleidos primer. I put it in like this little nail oil thing, so it makes it easier to just like, pump out. And the Kaleidos primer has a little bit of like an orange peachy tint to it. So it's good if you have discoloration around your eyes, because usually the discoloration around the eyes is like bluish, kind of like a dark circle, right? If you have extremely oily lids, it's not gonna be exactly the best primer. Like, it's great for gripping on shadow, making the shadow pop, but it doesn't really stop oil as well as some other ones. So keep that in mind. Actually, while I'm letting that kind of cook, I'm gonna contour like right now. I'm using this, of course, my lovely, what's this called? flower nose. Girl, I'd be like, oh, I love this, I love it. Oh my God, have you ever, as I'm getting older, my memory's just like really failing me because people would be like, oh, Edward, what's your favorite K-pop song lately? I'll tell them my favorite song, but then they're like, oh, do you know the words? And I can't think of the fucking words. I like the song, but I don't know the words. Have I not just been paying attention? I think it's the fact that, like I said in many videos, because I grew up on J-pop, of course I didn't speak the language, right? So I would just listen to it for the music, the catchiness, never paid attention to the lyrics. And so that carried on over into even listening to American pop music. I mean, yeah, I grew up on like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears. So those songs I'll know, like, I can just give it to you. But K-pop and J-pop, girl, ask me to sing the words. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. But do you see that? It's even the primer's creasing. It's mostly for making your shadows pop, not really like, oh, this is for a long wear. Now, the palette I'm gonna use, I actually got recently because I saw a YouTuber, a Korean YouTuber using it. It's from 3CE. Oh, girl, when's the last time we thought 3CE? Like, actually, I reviewed their cushion a few months ago, but like color shit, I barely use 3CE anymore, which is sad because they have a lot of decent products that still come out. It's just the hype for 3CE is gone, y'all, I feel like. Or that, or I'm probably just not on that part of the internet, but anyway, this is your new Knotted Pink palette, which is, girl, the color story is beautiful. It's like cool tone muted pinks that are more neutral. Not too warm, not too cool. It's like a good mix between both. Because we know fucking 3C, they'll call something cool tone, but it's still really warm. I'm gonna use this color first as a base. I used to not be into using these sorts of colors at all. Because I'm like, what the fuck? Why would I want to put like an ivory shade all over my lid? But I do actually notice it's quite helpful for blending lately, so I'll put that. Not for every look, but only a very, 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 very light layer because I basically think of this shade as like the powder that sets my eye primer because if I put too much, all the other shadows on top will have a hard time sticking on. Then I'm going to use this soft grayish shade that has a little bit of a shimmer to it. And just put this on the mobile lid. And then taking this more medium toned shade. This is normally the type of color I would use as my base shade, but today I'm not trying to get too crazy. This is gonna go on like mostly the inner and outer corner. And kind of using it to just pull it out. So I actually didn't really do anything for New Year's Eve. Me and my friend, we literally just went to barbecue, which honestly, period. We love a good fulfilling meal on New Year's. But during the actual like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in the restaurant, Eugene's Hype Boy was playing. And there was something like Eugene's on New Year's Eve. It was a sign from God. I felt like God was laughing at me.
5, 4, doing the new jeans at the Happy New
New jeans on New Year's. I'm gonna use this pink shade. Actually, no, I'm just kidding. I lied. I'm gonna use the initial base shade mixed in with a little bit of this second shade that I used on my A.chi. As well as this sort of pink, this pinky, what do you call that? It's like a really muted light coral pink on my A.chi as well. I think mixing some of these like, you know, Mocha Mousse colors with a little bit of pink will help keep it from looking too like dead. I always want to film these videos in front of, because in the morning I get really nice sunlight through my window, but because it's just coming from the one side, I don't know, it doesn't light my skin the way I like, because you guys know I have like the acne scar, right? And if I just had the one light, it's like, you know, it looks kind of ugly to me. And even my last video where I was talking about my favorites of 2024, I was on TikTok live with my friend. Me on TikTok live, right? Crazy. Someone in the chat room was talking about like, oh, Edward, never put your blush on like that again. And I was like, why? Yeah, I did have a lot of fucking pink blush on, but she said it looked too uneven. And the reason was because I didn't set my light up properly. So in person, it looked pretty even, but because one side was darker than the other, this side looked lighter and this side looked really patchy and dark. And so I constantly have to even out my lighting. If I had like amazing, perfect baby skin, girl, good skin really fucking allows you to get away with a lot of shit when it comes to filming videos. But unfortunately, I do not have the privilege of that. So every time I want to film in front of the light and get like a cute moody moment, I can't because, oh, I'm taking this, by the way, the really deep shade, I'm using as an eyeliner, kind of. I can't do that because my skin is shit. And yeah. I got this brush from Taobao, and they have a lot of brushes like this as well at AliExpress. Really sharp sickle-shaped brush is like perfect for eyeliner, like if you're using eyeshadow for eyeliner. There's a lot of similar ones that are like sharp and flat, but I find those painful. I think because of the curve, it makes it a little bit easier to put on. Also get like, I can almost like flick the end of my eyeliner, so it's like sharp. Look, I fucking hate doing this left eye, it's so bad. And then putting some on the very like tip here. And I'm using that to like darken the base of the liner a little bit more. 아이고, AOU 해야지. This is AOU's, this is like the portable curler. You just pull it apart and it's a cute little lash curler. I do love the Kevin O'Con one. And so when I got this, I was like, oh, we ain't gonna do shit. But it's actually really effective for being like a plastic curler. And because it's so portable, like you can close it and make it small. Because eyelash curlers are the worst for traveling because they're so bulky and like weirdly shaped. So it's like you can't put it anywhere. Although I like it more for curling on myself. Using it on other people, it's a little bit difficult, to be honest, because of the shape of the handle. I'm doing this not to get like curled cold lashes, but just because my lashes go down really strong, so I just want to lift them a little bit. And I'm going to keep them up with AOU Long Lash in brown. Oh, I forgot to say as well, the reason I had such bright pink blush in that video is because lately, so I've been playing Elden Ring currently, but before Elden Ring, the reason I got back into it was because of the game called Lies of P, which is another Souls-like game. If you play Lies of P, there's a photo of the main character as like a little boy. He looks so cute in that little picture. So, and I was like so obsessed with recreating that sort of like super, it basically looks like boyfriend blush. If you've seen that trend on TikTok or whatever, basically European, like English white boys with like their super red cheeks here. And I was like, okay, how do I adapt this to, because if I use colors like that on myself, it's just gonna look orange. And so I'm like, okay, let me do a bit more of like a peachy pink to get that look for my skin tone. And girl, it was I mean, I still like, to be honest, I loved that really bright pink on me, to be honest, but did I actually recreate that look? Not really. Not really. I do think it was a bit of a change from all the typical, you know, soft summer makeup that I always been doing. And it was just a talking video anyway, so I'm gonna take this color on a really, really fine bullet brush, but really, girl, really take that excess off and I think like a really intense aiguisha will kind of throw that off. And then I'm also going to use, not actually like a highlighting shade, but I'm going to use this shade for my aiguisha part because, again, I don't want to stand out too much, but I like this sort of nude peachy shade that has a little bit of shimmer. I think that'll be kind of pretty. And kind of highlight it without making it look like puffy white worms under the eyes, you know? Oh my God, you know what song I've been fucking obsessed with lately? Now, if we all saw anything about Time Turner, that idol survival show that was basically on TikTok, what a fucking mess, y'all. It was a mess. But I will say, these survival shows have some of the best, the signal songs, they really bring me back to like a simpler time in K-pop. I feel like for some reason, whenever you have a new survival show, to kind of go with the theme of the show, right? To kind of like, oh, dreams and shit and, you know, hope and whatever. A lot of these songs always sound so inspiring and they're catchy. Like the melodies are amazing, so which is something you don't really get as much in actual regular K-pop these days. Find Me Now from Time Turner. Y'all, as trashy as the show was, the signal song is amazing. It just sucks that they don't really perform. It's, girl, they like debuted now, but is it even really a proper idol group? I believe the company that runs them is just a TikTok MCN, like an agency. So girl, are we gonna see them on fucking Music Bank? Are we gonna see them on Ikigayo? Are we gonna see them on, you know, show champion still thing? Probably not, but it sucks because the song is so damn catchy. So that medium brown shade I was using here, I'm using here on like the outer part of my eye to kind of, you know when people would do that thing to extend their eyelash line to make their eyes look longer? It's basically there. No, I haven't powdered my skin at all up to this point because when I'm gonna use a blush and I feel like the blush will go on better on wet skin. So that's why I saved it until now. I think I might have talked about this a few times because it's been like my favorite blush. I don't know, how do you describe this color? Because Mocha Mousse is a very taupey brown. It's not really red or yellow. It's a brown that has a lot of the saturation taken out. It's not too cool and not too warm. And so I feel like this fits the bill. And I won't put the blush like I did in that last video. In general, because this color is a very moody type of color, I'm gonna place it more out here. Haven't gotten into Sea Beauty a lot because I obviously can't read Chinese. It makes such, when I'm like editing the video and putting the name of the products in, especially when I'm using some AliExpress products, girl, it makes it a bitch to put in the product name because it's like, how do you find this? Because I don't know the proper name. And if I just use Google Translator, sometimes it's not the same as what the company would have named it. And for a lot of Chinese makeup stuff, it's always like M202, RB48. It's kind of annoying. So when it comes to like more brownie types of blushes, I like to put them out here. Actually, a good alternative to that one, let me go get it, would kind of be these ones. It's from Kaleidos, the Hot Shot and Pearl Bliss. Let me try adding them. This is a little bit deeper and more pigmented, so. Let's add some here, why not? Let's get crazy. I just realized I didn't do my eyebrows, but it's okay because my bangs are literally gonna be hiding them anyway. Is it giving Mocha Mousse? I hope it's not coming out too red and orange on camera, which is what a lot of fucking products and colors will do on me because my skin tone is just so muted. I have a very olive skin tone. Do you see my lips now though? Look at that. It's all absorbed into my lips, which is normally something I don't like about a lot of typical lip products on the market, which is why I always say I like sticky stuff because it doesn't go anywhere. But even though it's absorbed, it's like my lips are in a better condition than they were before. And so this is what I want from a fucking lip product for before makeup. I'm gonna use some powder, of course my favorite Perfect Diary, but not too much. Normally I'll use like a puff and like really fucking saturate my whole damn face in it, but not today. I'm actually gonna use a flat brush. Also because the blush kind of mattified this part of my face anyway, so there's not really any point in me trying to put it any more there. See the difference that makes? Oh, love it, love it. I've mentioned a few times in my videos how I've like been in this fantasy of like people that generally don't have many steps in their makeup routine. I wish I had that sort of fantasy. And so I think to compensate, I'll still do a lot of steps, but do them very half-assed and quickly. It's like, I guess like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm a quick 10 makeup girly. But that has also kind of been translating into my videos as well, where I kind of half-ass the makeup on myself and also grow my ADHD. Like I won't notice certain like detail. I won't be as detailed because I'm talking and I'm trying to do the makeup. I'm trying to make the content at the same time. So, you know, a lot is going on in my head. And so today I'm actually making an effort to really, one, be more detailed with my makeup, which it might not be that detailed to you, might not even make a difference, but also two, to really use smaller motions and even smaller brushes. Sometimes, I mean, probably the biggest brush I used was like, for my eyeshadow was like this, right? I tried to be a little bit more detailed today. I think the powder is looking a little dry on this side, so using a little bit of the setting mist again to kind of, oh, that's a really pretty, it has a really cute baby powder smell as well. Really lightly concealing the edge of my lips so that we can get into lip makeup finally. Now there's a few options that I had for this. One that I thought about was Faded from, this is my little thing that I have several of these that I put all the pudding pots into. I thought maybe Faded would be a good one. And it's a great muted sort of brown shade, but looking at it now, in the context of this Mocha Mousse makeup, it's very red. Another one that I think would work really well for this actually is this BBIA Last Velvet Tint in So Good Mocha, which the name, I just realized that's the name. You see how much less red it is and more brown it is? This is the type of color that the color to go for this sort of look. Also, I use this on a lot of autumns. But one I think is the best actually is, I saw, was it Ghoul in Japan? Love her content, love her, follow on Instagram, TikTok, all that, love her. Go, if you're into like gothy, like she does a lot of vampy looks, right? So a lot of the colors she uses are grays and, you know, really muted like colors in general. So she talks about these Hyntoor tints. It's like a Chinese brand, I guess. And I found these on Taobao. This is what I'm talking about right there. There's like almost no red in it, which is what I am looking for. This formula is so blurring, but it's also extremely drying. So I'm actually also going to use a bit of the H lip tint, the blur tint in Daily, the edge of the lip, because I like the color, but it's looking a little bit like, and I want it to be very blurry. So if I use like the over pencil from AOU, it would look too orangey. And in keeping in line with the colors of the look, I'm using a gray. Actually, I'm too lazy to get them, but Kaleidos, they have like a collection of Cloud Lab lip clays. They're all in white, like the packaging. Those colors as well would be kind of like this Mocha Mousse mood. Oh my God, that is beautiful. Dear God, I swear, all my roommates, they're always fucking like banging shit around. Girl, it's not, girl, I'm loud sometimes. It's because of my YouTube or because of my games. I'll lower the volume. But these, I don't know if it's because they're angry or upset, but they'll always be like banging shit around and like moving with like so much strength in their set. And I'm like, girl, what's the issue, girl? I think to finish things off, I'm gonna highlight a little bit using this, actually Kaleidos, because they have like the Symphony contour trios, and each one has a matte highlighter, right? But they actually sell those matte highlighters separately. But besides the skin tones, they actually have like a peach and a pink one, and this is the peach one. This is in Peach Punch. And I thought it would be cute for this look to use as like a highlighter. Oh na 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 na, come on, come on, come on. Oh na 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 na, come on. I'm just deepening my contours a bit because I like that really, I don't know. Although it doesn't look the most natural, I kind of like the way it looks. Also adding a little bit of the contour on the lips. I just like the way the contour looks with the lip. The lip combo. The lip combo. Ooh. Oh. That's actually kind of vivid. I like that. Well, there's my little Mocha Mousse makeup. I hope you found that useful. But does anybody ever watch these for the tutorial? I think my angle lately has been, if you want this certain look, but let's say you have redness, or let's say you have a grayish tone to your skin, how can you achieve that look with the current colors that you have in your face? I don't know, think of this as just like us chit-chatting with the girls chit-chatting. I hope you have a good January, and I'll see you in another video, I guess. Bye. Mwah.